Darkest Dungeon is a gothic horror-inspired turn-based RPG about the horrors of adventuring in a dark fantasy setting. It is made up of challenging enemies and multiple mechanical systems that will test your fortitude constantly, just as much as it will test your preparedness and heroes throughout your journey. This video has already taken way longer than I wanted it to take to get out, and so getting right into it, let's see what happened in the 100 weeks I spent in modded Darkest Dungeon. It is week 1 at the Hamlet, and starting right off, we gathered up the usual suspects and left out to scour the ruins to see what else was out there. The first mission isn't usually too bad in Darkest Dungeon, but with the addition of our brand new stress engines, aka the ectomorphs, even the ruins are a bit more of a danger this early on. Ectomorphs being part of one of the mods that add these ghostly enemies that are very, very good at racking up stress in your party if you do not handle them efficiently, which can make the early game really rough because while HP damage isn't really a big concern for us with the ectomorphs, heart attacks are. Also, afflictions are a thing that we want to kind of avoid. So ectomorphs, not really great right. Anyways, nothing major happens on our first expedition, and we end up returning home and getting ready for week 2. As we entered into week 2 at the estate, we ended up having a few visitors that we hired on. Namely, we recruited a wraith, a sworn blade, and a choir hunter, and added them to our small but growing band of misfits. We then buckled up and prepared to head back into the ruins. But this was the first time I was using any of the all-new modded classes, such as the Wraith and Choir Hunter, so this early run was really more of a test than anything, just to kind of see what they can do. Before I move on to week 3, I don't exactly remember having too many problems at the start of this run, but here in my notes it says, "Party comp not good" in all caps. So there's probably a clip of what I meant on screen right now. Alright, we're on to week 3, and since this is the early game and there's not a whole lot of crazy stuff going on, and they got crazy stuff kind of marked out, we're just going to blow through these. So week 3, we recruited Kratos, as well as 2 more new classes to try out, and new locations finally opened up in the world. We decided to go and explore the ruins with the new group anyways, and well, it went okay. The Ghostbuster is pretty useful against the ectomorphs, but I still don't like our new stress generators constantly showing up.
Okay, calm down there. Plus 50% damage versus ectomorphs. I guess you just get that for everything though?
Also, Daddy is a bit lackluster at the moment, but I'm sure that he will warm up later on. Give him a little bit of time. Onwards to week 4, and we get to go on a fishing trip. We recruited a shinobi and an occultist from the stagecoach, and then we took the gang down to the cove for some fishing and trying to get our hands on a shiny new occultist item.
Yep, now you're gonna protect. See, that's what these things do. They protect the most problematic ones in the group, which is why we want to get the shaman out, because the shamans are what caused this. We're gonna struggle for the first few weeks, but as soon as we hit Antiquarian, you're gonna see a big change in a lot of this. We got this. Oh, they have a shaman. Oh, he dodged. Very least, we're gonna stun him. Good job. Oh, I could kiss you. Oh, I hate the cove all the time. I'm having the best run ever in the cove right now. That was dead.
The run ended up going really well with no worries. However, Pierre-Paul, our occultist, was technically the MVP of the squad, but Buddy needs a bit of affirmations to effectively heal anyone.
Pierre-Paul don't like each other? Apparently. Let's go ahead and just stun. There you go. needed some words of encouragement. That's all it was. Good job.
Onward to week 5, and the Magic Mountain has finally opened up for us to explore. However, we did some hero upgrading at the estate, and after that minor bout of upgrading, we ventured into the court with the OG party to burn the thronging hives. This will later come back to haunt me. I have never messed with the Crimson Court to much extent before, and I didn't think that doing one mission there would kick off a villain arc so severe as to what unfolds later on.
Ronald, you can chill out, buddy. We're just making the best of a bad situation here. Who's craving the blood? You are? Have some. Yes. Shoot him. Shoot him now. Shoot him now. There it is! Dismiss my guy!
Anyways, we defeated the Crocodilian and obtained the Saw Hunter's item in preparation for nabbing one of them when they show up. Fortunately, by the end of everything, 3 of the party were now afflicted with the Crimson Curse. And the issue was only just beginning. Week 6, we decided to delve back into the ruins once again on a longer quest, using the Daddy Squad to obtain a good antiquarian item, because we want to abuse the antiquarian's abilities throughout this run. Only this time we used our second occultist as he can mark targets for the Seraph to abuse with her abilities.
I'm here for it. Let's go.
In my notes I put new squad comp is great. I don't remember using this squad a whole lot, so I'm really doubting that sentiment. However, the mission went by super fast, and with no lasting maladies contracted by the members of the Daddy Squad, we peacefully returned to the hamlet. Week 7, we ventured into the Weld with the Antiquarian and our new Leper to get some nice money started. We did have a bit of a rough run, but nothing to really worry over, and in the end of it all, we walked away from the mission with about 13,000 gold to add to our pockets, so not really complaining here. Week 8, and we unlocked the Sunward Isles for exploration, aka Weeaboo Land. Woo! We don't really do a whole lot there, I'm not gonna lie to you. But we did venture back into the Warrens this week with Monet and Daddy, and we ended up getting a lot more money. But at the trade-off of Pierpont contracting not only a case of phthisis, but also the Black Plague in the same run. I think we're gonna need some vaccinations stat. Onward to week 9, where we unlock the Pet Cemetery. But I don't really know what the Pet Cemetery is, because I've never really liked any of the trinkets that show up there, so I've never explored the place. Anyways, we decided to take the Dark Souls group into the Cove for a short test run. And the run went okay. There was nothing major that happened, but we did figure out that Bachmare is a genuine stress engine for our group.
You party's done. Oh, that's a thing. I realize why you have so much stress now. Oops.
In the end of it all, we made 9k in profit, and then we promptly returned back home. Now, week 10, it's the end of the first batch. The start of the game is done. We are moving into the actual playtime. So, we took the Antiquarian out with some new friends back into the ruins. We are really favoring this spot this time. And the run went really smooth with not really many issues, and unfortunately, we do have some vampire heroes wasting away in town, so we're gonna need to return to the court for blood here soon. on we're to week 11, and at this point in time when I was recording, I got sick and didn't have any voice, so there are no in-game commentary moments from this section. And my notes are pretty short, so we ended up gathering a party to explore the mountaintops, and we accrued heavy stress damage, almost losing a couple of heroes to heart attacks in our excursion. But we persevered, and we left the mountain about 18,000 gold coins richer with no fatalities. Week 12 was relatively quick and painless as we took the vampire squad back to the Crimson Court for a blood run, and ended up gathering about 11 bottles of the good red and a small amount of cash before heading back home. Week 13 was our first big week. This was the week where we took the vampire squad out to hunt down the necromancer apprentice. We ended up clearing the dungeon and killing the apprentice with ease, and we got another good relic for the Saw Hunter. If only we could ever find one in the stagecoach, that is. I could tell I was not really into the whole recording process at the time, because all my notes say for week 14 is nothing remarkable happened outside of venturing into the Weld for an item for Daddy. So we're gonna put the end of the week here, and also the results screen because I don't remember what it is. Week 15, however, was pretty big. To start things off, we recruited Guts. We outfitted him with the items that we had been stockpiling, and we renamed him Butts for legal reasons. Nothing more. Then we delved into the Warrens and accomplished a medium battle mission, where we managed to actually get the expanded inventory mod to work correctly now. So now that kicks in. Week 16 was another big week for us as we finally recruited a Saw Hunter. And after applying all of the items that we had stockpiled for one up to this point, we ventured deep into the Sunward Isles in search of the Blades of Chaos for Daddy. In the process, we beat the Whale Skeleton mini-boss, and we headed home about 13k richer. Week 17, we did some minor hero upgrading, and then we ventured back into the Sunward Isles in hunt of a large yokai.
Okay, I'm not as worried anymore. I think I might have been a little, oh my goodness, been a little over anxious. We got the monster squad here. No, let's just end it. You can do it. You can end it right now. Like I said.
Out of all of this, we obtained a really nice trinket for Reynald, and then we returned home. In week 18, we didn't really like any of the rewards for any of the missions that were currently out there, so we just dove back into the ruins for a quick cash grab and to reset those rewards for a later expedition. In the process, the hero poem kind of contracted the blood curse, so kind of lost out on more than we won on this week.
I do need to upgrade his equipment, though. Roger. But other than that, I mean, even just the base right now, Roger's doing fine. Doing fantastic.
Week 19, we decided to dive back into the Crimson Court in an attempt to find the Baron and take him on.
Wait, well, hold on. Whoa, what? Quest is epic. You are not expected to finish epic quests in one attempt. You may regroup, abandon the quest at any time, and your progress is saved. When you obtain another invitation, you may continue the quest from where you left off. I don't like the sound of that. Reynald, I need you to hit.
However, I was not expecting anything about the length of this mission, and we ended up losing Reynald.
Wow.
Pretty shortly into the excursion.
That's the first time he's ever been on death's door, and he didn't even get past the check the first time. Wow.
So we ended up retreating back to the hamlet for now. Moving into week 20, and We needed a win, so we gathered up some of our gang and we hunted down the sonorous prophet.
And we're done. Good job, Butts.
In the process, Butts contracted the gray rot and we ended up needing to hospitalize him.
Oddly enough, that's not horrible.
At the same time, we ended up sending Darcy away for some treatment as well to get rid of some negative quirks that he's been holding on to. Week 20 was both a win and a rough patch.
I don't know what that means or what that does, but it's a big one, I'm assuming, by the skull and the cost. So let's get rid of that.
Week 21, we ended up taking the Kraken Slayer out to test in the weld. Didn't go super great, as I don't fully understand how the moveset is supposed to work for the Kraken Slayer, unless they're just supposed to be like a very high burst.
That's very situational. I don't understand why I am applying the mark for her on everything that bleeds if it only hits the first row. That feels like a lot of effort for not a lot of payoff.
Either way, we ended up with 2 more cursed heroes out of this whole thing, and yeah, we desperately needed to focus the courtyard again soon. Week 22, we basically just dubbed the Cove for a new leper trinket with the A-team, and their excursion was very successful. Overall, we came out of this whole ordeal with about 20k in profit, and we moved into week 23, where we ended up recruiting a monk. A monk. I love the monk class in Darkest Dungeon. Anyways, we upgraded the stagecoach again for some higher level recruit possibilities before we delved back into the Warrens on a veteran level mission. And we ended up having a bit of a rough run out of this one.
I feel like bringing the Antiquarian has been more of a liability in this one than anything else. Or not. Bringing Butts into this one has been more of a liability than anything else.
All in all, everyone survived, and we made some bank.
You're bulimic?
Week 24, and we started our time off by buying a very expensive trinket before leaving on another mission to the Sunward Isles.
No licky licky. Oh, the turtles.
But the Sunward Isles are crawling with turtles, and they all want to make sure we have a bad day. Yes, even the small ones. Rule of thumb here in the Isles, Mikey, Raph, Donnie, and Leo all have it out for you every moment, every step, and if you let them, they will mess you up with their party buffs. It's week 25, and we started off by getting our Vestal the book that she wanted, as well as tucking Darcy into treatment, yet again, to get rid of his newly acquired tapeworm. After that, we hired a powder keg hunter that came into town, and we sat back out saving some money this time around. However, this week we had a new quarry. We were off to hunt the Kraken in the courtyard. The beast put up a fight.
Here's the question, Doctor. Do we focus on the big guy, or do we take out the minis? But then he just pops them right back. And you can't stun him. That one I do want to disappear. Do want that one to disappear. Yikes.
Prodigious size alone.
And we're done with the Kraken.
But overall, we won, and we gained a pretty strange looking trinket from defeating the beast in the swamp.